Hi everyone, my name is Nsisong Apanudo, and this is the proof for my final project, which I was asked to configure a Linux environment for the promised land.com. So this is my AWS console, which, as you can see here, this is the instance for the promised land server, which is running and active. You can see everything. This is the public IP. This is the instance state running and my IP4 address, which I'm going to use to run the SSH in the terminal. So we've successfully launched the EC2 instances, and also we've confirmed the SSH access, which I'm going to show you in the terminal. So the Promised Land server is now fully configured and operational. So the next thing I'm going to do is to walk you through each completed task and verify the setup. So I am going to copy, this is the public IP4 address, which I've copied it here, which I'm going to copy down here. Then we're going to go over to my shell. I'm going to press that. So you can see here that we've successfully um, launched the EC2 instance and confirmed the SSH access. And you've seen our welcome note here. Welcome to Promised Land Server authorized access only. So the first thing I'm going to do to prove that is to do who am I run to, and also host name CTL. So you can see this the all the information that to prove that the instance is up and running. So the next thing we're going to do is to prove that the Samba is installed. So I'm going to do sudo system ctl status smbd. So you can see here that SMBD is ready to serve the connections, and Samba is active. So to prove that further, just do sudo ss dash tulnp yu grep smbd. So Samba is installed and is listening on ports 139 and 445 respectively. So the next thing now that we're going to do is, as you know, that Samba provides the department shares with SMB3 and encryption that is required. So the next thing is the file permission for group files, which I'm gonna show here. So for the file permission, the shared directories are created with strict group permission, which the first step to show that is to show where slv slash shares. So this is it. The SRV and share holds the departmental folders, which we can see here. I actually didn't know the amount of space I have in my AWS console, so I had to mount it on the root, which later it can be expandable and moved to the console if I have probably a bigger space like 500 gig or 100 gig. So this is it. These are all the departments here, and these are the files. So to prove that, I'll just do for operations get file slash srv slash shares slash operations. So this is it. This is for the operation. This is the CEO, the executive, the user, the group, read, write, execute, and the honor root. As I said, I mounted it on the root. So this is the group and all of it. So the next thing now I'm gonna do is the firewall configuration. So for the firewall configuration, I'm going to show that the UFW is enabled and scoped to admin IP and corporate range. So I'm going to do sudo UFW status labels. So as you can see here, this is the status. It is active. It's the default is allow incoming, allow outgoing. Normally, the outgoing is supposed to be denied, but it kept on whenever the connection expires and I have to log in again. It kept on denying me access into the connection. So I had to detach and attach the volume, made a recovery folder. Sorry, I mounted it on another helper instance so I could get access back. So that was I had to allow the outgoing here. So the next thing we did was the storage allocation and mounting. So as I said earlier, I had mounted the this one here, the serve and shares SRV to root. This is it. It's mounted on the root, which we are going to expand much later. And also, I'm going to do the LSB. Okay. So you can see here that I created two other ones, XVDF, XVDG, which was 10 gig and 1 gig respectively. And the amount point for the 10 gig is data one, and for the 1 gig is opt and backup. So the next thing that I'm going to show here is the security measures that we took. So for security measures, I'm going to do sudo to show that. So we enforced the sudo restriction and verified the SSH control, and also did the SSH key only for the security hardening, no root SSH, and the least privilege sudo. So that I'm gonna show get tent group sudo. This is for the group. These are all the admins, the list that has the privilege, and I'm gonna go further. Cart etc slash ssh slash sshd underscore config rep dash I permit to show if uh, we are permitting root login, which it is actually no. We are not permitting any root login here because we've enforced the sudo restriction and verified the SSH access control. So the next thing is the message of the day, which we've seen here that I actually did do that. Welcome to Promised Land, but I'm going to show how I got to that. So to prove that I did that is cart etcmotd. This is the message of the day. Welcome to Promised Land server, authorized access only. So the actions may be monitored or and logged. So for support, I just had to do this, service decks and serve decks at promiseland.com. So the next thing we are gonna do, which after we've done our custom banner, the next thing is to schedule a reboot for every 2 years. So to show that we actually did that is sudo cron tab L. So this is it. This is the cause this the schedule reboot. So cron job is scheduled to reboot the server every two years, which you've seen the message here. Reboot scheduled every 2 years. So the next thing we did was the system update and package and maintenance. So that I'm going to show that everything is actually up to date. Update sudo apt upgrade as well. So it's going to run to show that that was actually done. And you can see here that everything is actually up to date. To go further, I'm going to do the app list upgradable just to be sure. So listing is done. Everything is up to date. So for the package installation, we actually installed MUTT, which is a terminal based email client. So to check that, MUTT/v. So this is it. So MUTT is already installed, which is the terminal based client. So this brings us to the end of our walkthrough of the Linux environment setup. Uh, this project has really impacted a lot of knowledge to me, and I'm happy I was able to pull through to the end. Thank you for watching.